Hey there, friends. Have you ever felt like your strength just isn't what it used to be? Maybe you're finding it harder to get up from a chair, carry your groceries, or even walk up the stairs without feeling winded. If you're over 60, 70, or even 80, here's a little wake up call. Ignoring your muscle strength could mean losing your independence sooner than you think. But what if I told you there's one simple daily habit that can help you restore your muscle strength? Like you're 40 again? Stick with me because I'm going to share exactly what that habit is and how you can start today to feel stronger, more confident, and ready to enjoy life to the fullest. Welcome back to Wise Elders Advice, your go-to channel for simple, practical health tips for seniors. I'm so glad you're here today because we're talking about something that can truly change your life. As we age, our muscles naturally weaken, a condition called sarcopenia, and it can make everyday tasks feel so much harder. But the good news is, you don't have to accept that as your new normal. I'm going to walk you through one daily habit that can help you rebuild your muscle strength step by step. We'll break it down into 5 easy parts so you can understand why it works, how to do it, and what kind of results you can expect. Plus, I'll share some real-life stories and research to show you just how powerful this habit can be. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's get started on your journey to feeling stronger than ever. Today, we're focusing on a daily habit that combines gentle movement, proper nutrition, and consistency to rebuild your muscle strength. I've broken this habit into 5 key parts so you can understand exactly how to make it work for you. Let's start with the first part, starting your day with just 10 minutes of gentle movement. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm not 40 anymore. I can't be doing push-ups or running a marathon. And you're absolutely right. You don't have to. This isn't about intense exercise. It's about simple, low-impact movements that get your muscles working and your blood flowing. Why does this matter for seniors? Well, as we age, our muscles naturally lose mass and strength. A study from the National Institute on Aging says that after 60, we can lose up to 3% of our muscle mass every year if we don't stay active. That loss makes it harder to do things like stand up from a chair, walk to the mailbox, or even play with your grandkids. But here's the amazing part. Even just 10 minutes of movement a day can help slow that muscle loss and start rebuilding your strength. Let me share an example. Meet Joan, a 72-year-old from Florida. Joan used to struggle to get out of her recliner without help. She felt weak and unsteady, and it made her worry about falling. But then she started a simple morning routine. 5 minutes of marching in place while holding onto her kitchen counter for balance, and 5 minutes of gentle arm raises with a can of soup in each hand. At first, she thought, this is too easy to make a difference. But after just 3 weeks, Joan noticed she could stand up from her chair without using her hands. She told me, I feel like I've turned back the clock. I'm stronger and more confident now. So, how can you start? Every morning, set aside 10 minutes for gentle movement. You can march in place, do seated leg lifts, or even try some light stretching. If you're not sure where to begin, just stand up and sit down from a chair 10 times. It's a great way to work your leg muscles. The key is to move your body in a way that feels good for you. Now that you've got your body moving, let's build on this foundation with the second part of this daily habit, adding a protein-packed breakfast to your morning. You might be wondering, why protein? I thought that was for bodybuilders. But here's the thing, protein is absolutely essential for rebuilding muscle, especially as we get older. Let me explain why this is so important. After 60, our bodies don't use protein as efficiently as they used to. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors need about 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily to maintain muscle mass. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that's about 68 to 82 grams of protein a day. But most of us aren't getting anywhere near that, especially at breakfast. Without enough protein, your muscles can't repair and grow, even if you're moving every day. That means you might feel weaker, more tired, and less steady on your feet. Let me share a story about Harold, a 68-year-old from the UK. Harold used to start his day with just a piece of toast and a cup of tea. He'd feel hungry and tired by mid-morning, and he noticed he was losing strength in his arms and legs. Then his doctor suggested adding more protein to his breakfast. Harold started having 2 scrambled eggs, a slice of whole grain toast, and a small cup of Greek yogurt with berries. That gave him about 25 grams of protein to start his day. After a month, Harold felt a difference. He had more energy, and he could lift his gardening tools without struggling. He told me, "I didn't realize how much protein could change the way I feel. I'm stronger now than I've been in years." So how can you add more protein to your breakfast? It's easier than you think. Try having a couple of eggs. They give you about 12 grams of protein. Or, if you prefer something lighter, a cup of Greek yogurt has about 10 grams. You can also add a handful of nuts to your oatmeal, or spread some peanut butter on whole grain toast. Aim for at least 20 grams of protein in the morning. It'll give your muscles the fuel they need to grow stronger. With movement and protein in place, let's move on to the third part of this daily habit, which is all about consistency, sticking to a daily schedule for your movement and protein intake. I know consistency might sound boring, but it's the secret sauce that makes this habit work. Here's why consistency matters so much for seniors. When you do the same thing every day, your body starts to adapt. A study from the University of Birmingham found that older adults who followed a consistent exercise routine, even just 10 minutes a day, saw a 15% increase in muscle strength after 8 weeks. But those who only exercise once in a while didn't see the same results. Consistency helps your muscles grow stronger over time, and it also builds a routine that keeps you motivated. Without a schedule, it's easy to skip a day, then another, and before you know it, you're back to feeling weak and unsteady. Let me tell you about Margaret, an 81-year-old from California. Margaret used to be active, but after her husband passed away, she found it hard to stay motivated. She'd move a little one day, then skip the next few days because she didn't have a plan. She felt her strength slipping away, and it made her worry about losing her independence. Then she decided to set a daily schedule. Every morning at 8 a.m., she'd do her 10-minute movement routine, followed by a protein-packed breakfast. She even set a reminder on her phone to keep herself on track. After 6 weeks, Margaret noticed she could walk up her front steps without holding onto the railing. She told me, "Having a schedule gave me something to look forward to. I feel stronger and more in control of my life now." So how can you stay consistent? Pick a time each day that works for you. Maybe right after you wake up or after your morning coffee. Set a reminder on your phone or put a sticky note on your fridge to help you remember. And don't worry if you miss a day. Just get back to it the next day. The key is to make this habit a regular part of your routine so it becomes as natural as brushing your teeth. Now that you've got a consistent schedule, let's take this habit to the next level with the fourth part, adding resistance to your movements using everyday items. This is where the magic really happens, because resistance helps your muscles grow even stronger. Let's talk about why resistance is so important for seniors. When you add a little weight or resistance to your movements, it forces your muscles to work harder. A doctor I spoke with, Dr. Susan Carter from the Mayo Clinic, explained it like this. For older adults, resistance training, even with light weights, can increase muscle strength by up to 20% in just 12 weeks. It's one of the best ways to fight muscle loss and stay independent. But you don't need fancy gym equipment to do this. Everyday items like a can of soup, a water bottle, or even a bag of rice can work just as well. Here's an example. Meet David, a 76-year-old from Texas. David used to feel weak in his arms, and he struggled to lift his 5-pound dog into the car. He started doing his 10-minute movement routine, but he wanted to see faster results. So he added resistance by holding a 1-pound can of soup in each hand while doing arm raises. He also used a gallon jug of water, about 8 pounds, to do gentle squats, holding onto a chair for balance. At first, he could only do 5 reps, but after a month, he was up to 15 reps, and he could lift his dog with ease. David told me, "I feel like I'm 40 again. I didn't think something so simple could make such a big difference." So, how can you add resistance to your routine? Start with something light, like a can of soup or a small water bottle. about 1 to 2 pounds. While you're doing your 10-minute movement, hold the item in your hands and do simple exercises like arm raises, bicep curls, or even leg lifts while seated. If you're feeling steady, you can try standing squats while holding onto a chair for support. Just hold the weight close to your chest and lower yourself down slowly. Aim for 10 reps of each movement, and if it feels too easy, you can add a little more weight over time. This small addition can help your muscles grow stronger, faster, so you can keep doing the things you love. Finally, let's wrap up this daily habit with the fifth part, tracking your progress and celebrating your small wins. This step is all about keeping you motivated and showing you just how far you've come. Here's why tracking your progress is so important for seniors. When you see results, even small ones, it gives you a sense of accomplishment and keeps you going. A study from the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that older adults who tracked their strength improvements were 40% more likely to stick with their exercise routines long term. But if you don't pay attention to your progress, it's easy to feel like nothing's changing and you might give up. Celebrating small wins, like being able to stand up without help or carry a bag of groceries, reminds you that you're getting stronger every day. Let me share a story about Betty, a 79-year-old from London. Betty started this daily habit after noticing she couldn't lift her laundry basket anymore. She began with her 10-minute movement routine, a protein-packed breakfast, and added resistance with a small water bottle. But what really kept her motivated was tracking her progress. She kept a little notebook where she wrote down how many arm raises she could do each week and how she felt after her routine. At the end of the first month, she realized she could do 20 arm raises, up from just 5 when she started. She also noticed she could lift her laundry basket without struggling. To celebrate, she treated herself to a new pair of walking shoes, and it made her even more excited to keep going. Betty told me, "Seeing my progress on paper made me feel so proud. I feel stronger and more capable now." So, how can you track your progress? Grab a notebook or even a piece of paper and write down a few things each week. For example, note how many reps you can do of your movements or how long you can march in place without stopping. You can also write down how you feel. Are you standing up more easily? Are you less tired during the day? And don't forget to celebrate your wins. Maybe you treat yourself to a favorite treat, like a piece of dark chocolate, or you call a friend to share your success. These small celebrations will keep you motivated to stick with this habit, and before you know it, you'll be feeling stronger than you have in years. Let's take a moment to recap everything we've covered today. We've talked about one simple daily habit that can help you restore your muscle strength so you can feel like you're 40 again. We broke it down into 5 easy parts, starting with 10 minutes of gentle movement to get your muscles working, adding a protein-packed breakfast to fuel your body, staying consistent with a daily schedule, adding resistance with everyday items like a can of soup, and tracking your progress to celebrate your wins. Together, these steps can help you rebuild your muscle strength, improve your balance, and keep you independent for years to come. I know making changes can feel a little overwhelming at first, but you don't have to do it all at once. Start small, maybe just 5 minutes of movement tomorrow morning, or adding an egg to your breakfast. The key is to take that first step because you deserve to feel strong, confident, and full of energy, no matter your age. As Dr. Susan Carter from the Mayo Clinic said, it's never too late to build muscle strength. Even small changes can make a big difference in how you feel every day. So let's make a promise to ourselves to start this habit and keep going, one day at a time.